In the realm of comic books, movies, and popular culture, superheroes are often depicted as champions of justice, symbols of hope, and defenders of the innocent. They possess incredible powers that set them apart from ordinary mortals, using their abilities for the betterment of society. However, some of these gifts aren't exactly the giving type, and tend to take more than they give in terms of superpower. This is the top 6 superpowers that would turn anyone into villains. Well, Marvel's X-Men. Brace yourself for tragedy, teenage angst, and mutant mayhem. Now, mutants in the X-Men universe have always had it tough. They wake up one day with these wacky powers, and guess what? They have zero control over them. Talk about a recipe for disaster. And boy oh boy did Ultimate X-Men number 41 take tragedy to a whole new level. Now picture this. Our unnamed teenage mutant wakes up, still groggy and dreading another day at school. Little does he know that his life is about to take a nosedive into the pits of despair. After looking for his mom and finding her clothes on the ground, he heads to school confused. He meets his girlfriend, and one minute he's just having a regular chat with her in the schoolyard, and the next minute, bam, everyone, and I mean everyone, except him, turns into ashes. Poof. Talk about a lonely lunch break. And what's the reason for this horrifying incident, you may ask? Well, puberty, of course. Yeah, you heard me right. This poor kid's mutant ability decides to kick in, and what does it do? It turns him into a walking human flamethrower. Not exactly the kind of power you could show off at parties, huh? This catastrophic outburst leads to the unimaginable loss of 265 lives, including his entire family. And what's even worse is that even though it was an accident, Wolverine is sent to kill the kid and prevent further loss of life. No mutant school, no learning to control his abilities, just a swift and admittedly sad ending made quick by the man with adamantium claws. But at least he gives him a beer first. The sorrowful tale of Kel Massa, aka Pariah, the ultimate sad sack in the DC universe. Once a genius scientist, he was just minding his own business on his parallel Earth, or alternate dimension depending on your preference for retcons. He had this grand idea to witness the birth of a universe itself. Ambitious, right? Well, things took a dark turn when the infamous Anti-Monitor decided to crash Massa's experiment and use it for his own sinister agenda. Long story short, Massa's planet got obliterated in the process. But wait, there's more. Massa, now known as Pariah, survives the catastrophe, but is cursed with an utterly inconvenient superpower. He can teleport, but not to shunny beaches or exotic locales. Oh no, he's forced to teleport to other parallel Earths just in time to witness the Anti-Monitor unleashing destruction upon them. Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time, over and over and over again. When it comes to mutant powers, luck can be a real fickle friend. And Wither, well, he definitely got the short end of the stick. And when we say stick, we mean it quite literally. Kevin Ford, aka Wither, possesses a power that's as deadly as it gets. He has the unfortunate ability to kill any living thing with just a touch. Ouch. Now, poor Wither's powers first make themselves known in the most tragic way imaginable. Accidentally turns his own father into dust. Yeah, not the kind of family bonding anyone hopes for. I think it's safe to say that Wither's mutant abilities didn't exactly kick off on a high note. Wither finds himself at the Charles Xavier Institute, hoping to master his powers alongside fellow mutants. But here's where things take a turn for the worst. In a moment of panic, he nearly kills supervillain Donald Pierce, and overwhelmed by his bloodlust and the potential harm he could cause, Wither decides to leave the school. He could have easily turned to crime here. However, his journey takes him to the sister mutant group known as the Hellions. Talk about finding your people in the most unconventional way possible. Here's Penance, a figure whose abilities are fueled by some quite unconventional pain. But let's start from the beginning. Penance emerged from the once lighthearted hero known as Speedball. Seeking redemption for a devastating accident, Speedball adopted a new persona and a suit that harnessed his kinetic powers through the channel of pain. The The catalyst for this transformation was the infamous Stanford disaster, a catastrophic event that played a significant role in Marvel's Civil War storyline. Guilt-ridden and tormented by the consequences of his actions, Speedball embraced the path of penance. His suit, equipped with multiple spikes that mercilessly stabbed into Penance's body? Ouch. Gone were the days when Speedball used his powers to bounce around, exuding a lighthearted energy in his new pain-fueled form. Penance's abilities granted him the power to blast his way across the battlefield with formidable force. But was it worth it? That's the burning question. Sure, he gained immense power through pain, but at what cost? Enduring constant physical agony? The spikes, serving as a constant reminder of his guilt and the need for redemption, plunged into his flesh with every move he made. Talk about ouch. The wild and twisted tale of Glob Herman. Trust me, this one's a doozy. So, picture this. Glob grows up with a real charmer of a dad who absolutely despises mutants. When Glob's mutant powers kick in, suddenly his dear old dad decides to use him as a punching bag for all that pent-up anger. Talk about a dysfunctional family dinner. Glob's mom comes to the rescue though. In a daring act of rebellion, she sneaks him out of the house and drops him off at the famous Xavier Institute in Westchester, right when Professor X's mutant status is exposed to the general public. At first he's all like, nah, this ain't my scene, but life has a funny way of showing us where we truly belong, and after some soul searching, Glob realizes that the Xavier Institute is right where he's meant to be. Driven by his deep-seated hatred for humans and his less-than-ideal family situation, Glob decides to throw in with the Omega Gang. They're a bunch of mutants who aren't exactly fond of our human friends, and unfortunately, Glob kinda turned to crime. Now here's a member of the X-Men that truly goes unnoticed. Literally. Meet Forget-Me-Not, the master of staying off the radar. With powers like his, it's no wonder he's remained hidden from his fellow mutants for over 6 years. Let's dive into his story. So, Forget-Me-Not joined the X-Men way back, probably before the infamous M-Day. But here's the kicker. His powers are so sneaky that his teammates never even realized he was there. To ensure that someone remembered Forget-Me-Not's existence, Professor X had to implant a psychic reminder in his own mind, triggering it every hour. Now that's some serious dedication to keeping a team member in the loop. And even though he flew under the radar, Forget-Me-Not wasn't just sitting on the sidelines twiddling his thumbs. Oh no, he fought alongside the X-Men against the Brood, relocated the mutant haven of Utopia, and became a soldier during the Age of X. Talk about being a silent hero. But, as we all know, every superhero story has its share of ups and downs. So, when Professor X was murdered, Forget-Me-Not was there to pay his respects. But, losing his permanent connection with others, he spiraled into a deep depression, and, desperate to rid himself of his powers, he sought out Omega and Mimic to drain him of his abilities. However, something changed his mind. Perhaps a glimmer of hope, or a realization that even without being noticed, he could still make a difference in the world. And there you have it for our list of superpowers that could turn anyone into a villain. Is there a superpower here that you wouldn't mind having? Let us know down in the comments. Like and subscribe for more videos, and until next time, comics are better with true power.